Okay, so there was a
was
second mouse.
involved.
That's the part I think I'm
He
not.
handed it off, and you couldn't see who he handed it off
That's
to.
right. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
so
Yeah.
so we
But he
saw
handed
like the
the stolen goods off, and then he went back inside, and now he can go past the guard, and they won't think twice because he has nothing on him.
I'm gonna get my map stuff ready. I need that.
I still have my own terrible map that I can barely read, and it's just lines.
But yeah, my map is ironically / not ironically awful. Like I know they're terrible, and I'm like, yep, this is what I'm here to do. I'm okay with that. I have to be. In one of our games, one person was like a professional cartoonist.
Oh goodness!
Like I was like, and he was doing the maps. And then another one, Richard's husband is also a professional artist, I think. So I was like, I'm just gonna look like something that, you know, an 11-year-old, a 7-year-old came up with, and I'm okay with that.
Well, and then there's Steve, because he does his on like grid paper, and his are like scary accurate.
Oh yeah.
For
He's
where
got like
everything is down to the count. You know where it is, and it's just like he's like, it's this many feet this way and this many feet that way, and
yeah.
I'm like,
Steve up there in Canada with his
wow
sextant, like grid paper up there, like, you know, he's old school. Anyways,
he's accurate though. It's scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we are opening up. You guys are in the, it's dark, and you're going down this little trail through the grass. Probably not a trail that would be observable to, say, a human or a deer per se, but to a small animal like a mouse, you can definitely tell that's what it is. And you are headed northish towards, from the direction that Pearl, isn't it? I think Pearl said you guys are headed towards Litter Creek, which may or may not have a rat problem.
Right. The last time we were there, we saw evidence of rats. But we resolved that we needed to get, and this is, you said Glitter Creek? Did I have that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So that, whoo boy. Jerry, that's like a 3.5 hour journey at night in the open.
Oh, and it's like what, the middle of the night, so
Yeah, any clever plans, Jerry? Any ideas?
okay, so I would say at this point, like, we're probably, if we're not like fortunate at all, we're probably not gonna get to apprehend like the actual person who got handed off the food or anything. Probably not tonight, maybe. At the very least, we can like try to track them down and see like where exactly they're going, and maybe not get their exact location, but figure out exactly like, okay, if they're heading down upstream, downstream, or across the river, or at the very least like see like how far we're willing to see go, and exactly where this person is going, and where, if they're maybe passing the food off to another party, or if they're trying to stash it somewhere. At least figure out like that much. At least like try to get as far as we can. But obviously we're in no condition to like find anybody again type of confrontation. So let's just at least keep an eye on them for now and just see where they go.
Yeah, the smoking gun is if we find those baked goods in the hands of, and the alcohol in the hands of a rat. Then we know what's going on. You know, whatever it is, but we need to figure it out. Okay, so let's do it. I'm down. Pearl is like wringing her little paws, and she wearing, I'll say she has a little cloak. She pulls it up over her head and her ears and tightens it down, and she's like, we'll just have to hope for the best. And if we see anything moving in the sky, I look up. Is the moon out? What is the night luminance? Luminescence.
The moon is out. You are fortunate it is not a full moon. So it's somewhere between a crescent and a half moon. Enough light to see by, enough light for something to potentially see you, but it is not super well lit.
Okay. We best just scurry from plant to plant as best we can and make our way there.
Yep.
And Poppy's following behind. She's kind of like hanging really close to the grass, hoping that kind of maybe helps. Got her little sword clutched in her hand because she doesn't want to be caught by surprise. So you follow them. Are you going to try following them all the way to the creek?
Yeah, to the creek at least.
Okay, so you follow this figure, staying behind them. You are lucky. There appears to be nothing in the sky tonight, or at least nothing that can see you. And you're able to make your way uneventfully, but creepily, towards this creek. And you follow this mouth, and it comes out through the grass towards where they're on gravel now. And it's a bit more open, so it's going to be harder for you to follow them at this point without being in the open. They are heading towards what looks like part of an old log that's hollowed out and rotting.
This is on the near side of the creek?
Yes.
Okay.
So, like, let's see if I can draw it. So you have your little trail that you're following, and then it opens up here, and the grass
I think we're on a different
opens
page.
Up, and there's the creek. And this, I can't ping, I think, or can I?
I think we're on a different page.
So you're going north towards the creek, but there's the grass, which is here.
No, I mean, I think we're on a different Roll20 page.
Oh, I didn't move it. Haha. Thank you.
I've never done that.
All right. So there. So we have our path that you guys have followed. And then where the grass ends is right here. And over here, this is the creek edge. This is the gravel right here in between. And then you guys are... Can I change my color? I can. Awesome. Okay, you guys come out about right here and notice that the grass stops. There is an old rotting log that's kind of partway into the water. And that's where he ran to. He went this way.
Okay, so I'm going to ping some things that they weren't showing up. The path, where
Yeah.
the grass, the edge of the grass,
And
the edge of the creek,
yeah.
and then the log that sits on the edge of the creek into the water.
Yes.
Okay. You all
The
think...
orange trail's the trail he took, and he went into that log. You are on the edge of the grass.
So I'm just gonna try to make a guess at something. I'm assuming that the log is probably some type of boat or something that the person who took the food is using to, because it's like beached up on the actual river, like the creek. So
It is, but it's flipped over so that the top half, from what you can tell, the rounded part, is up in the air.
Huh?
So it's kind of like this, with the gravel underneath, and you're not sure if the log is partially underground or if it just rotted and it's half of a log, but that's kind of what you're looking at is this. It's sitting like that.
Well, we should take
So it sort of makes a tent of sorts.
a look, listen, and smell. What I suggest. We might lose them, but I don't think we should just run in.
Yeah, it might be out in the open, but let's try to get closer and see if we can, like, hear or smell anything inside and see if we get more information from there.
So you planning on going into the gravel or staying in the grass?
We have to, right? We have to get in the gravel. So we'll have to probably
Yeah.
take the risk of being out in the open. Maybe only one of us, maybe the sneakiest one, should do it.
Mm. In that case, uh,
I have
What had the best?
a dexterity of 10.
well, Jerry's feeling a little adventurous, so it's like Jerry will go ahead and volunteer to go ahead and try to see if he can cross the gravel without making too much noise and try to sniff out what's up.
Thank you, Jerry.
I only have probably a slightly better chance than you have. I got dexterity of 11.
Now, I'm trying to think, but I'm pretty sure, Ross, this would be an example of a roll.
It's totally
Where,
up to you. Basically, if
because
you
you're crossing it in the dark.
yeah, like
There's
if you
slight
feel like
light.
this, if at this point we haven't come up with a good enough solution and we are absolutely engaging in danger, then yeah, to roll under the dexterity.
Yeah, so I would like you to roll for dexterity to see if you can cross without making any noise, or tripping or anything. Just, it's dark, it's gravel, there could be twigs or whatnot. You can't really tell. To see if you can make it into shadows without being seen.
Okay, so I got a 50-50 chance of this, and just a random idea I think we could have done is maybe try to take down some of the grasses, make a walking path, but I'm not sure if that would take in too long or if that was like too infeasible or not. But I figure, hey, 50-50 chance, here we go. I did it!
Yay!
Oh, nice.
So you are able to tiptoe through the gravel, and you find a nice little dark spot in the shadows where you can't be seen, but you are close enough to where you can hear whispers. And listening, you hear what sounds like a little tiny voice, probably a mouse, and then a much gruffer voice that sounds a bit deeper and sounds like it belongs to something else that's probably not so nice. Here you go. We got everything on the list. It's only a bit late, but we got everything. You know, the boss don't like it when you're late. We'll only pay half. You know what we went through to get this one? The guards are starting to get suspicious. I don't know how long we can keep doing this. You remember our bargain. You keep doing it, or else. Now you get 50%, and we'll get you the new list the usual way tomorrow. Bro, give us a week. The boss wants it tomorrow. Oh dear. And then it gets quiet. And you see a little mouse kind of tiptoeing out. Let's see. He's trying to think of the color. A light tan. And he looks very, very worried. And he's kind of wringing his paws. And he has his paper in his paws. And it's kind of getting a little wrinkled. He looks very stressed. And he's trying to scurry back towards the path and head back down the path.
Is he child, adolescent, or adult? Or can we tell?
He's adult. He's an adult mouse. You do notice, too, that his paws appear to be stained reddish pink.
Oh, well, actually, I'm sorry. This is Jerry that sees all. So,
Yeah, it's Jerry.
Hmm.
Though you would probably see him as he heads back towards the path, and you'd choose to either hide so he doesn't see you, or you can stay there and confront him.
what did you do, Jerry? Just
I
under-
still keep my eyes on the mouse, and once I feel like the voices inside the log either have settled down or feel like there's a good opening where it feels like they're not anything like paying attention to the outside, I'll try to like sneak back to the path. If there's ways like we know who's like we have an idea like who's sending stuff out, but at this point like okay, so we have an idea. Let's start. So I start to go back to the path and try to head back to the tree as quietly as I can. I think I have to make another roll for that, don't I? Or
I'm going to say no because the voice that was in the log is now gone. So if you were to make noise, it wouldn't matter as much.
okay.
When you come back, I just, do you think maybe we should tackle him? Figure this out right now.
It's 3-on-1. As long as we tackle him far enough away from the creek, I think we could probably do it without drawing attention.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if we try to confront them, yeah, now instead of so, yeah, they'll be far away enough, and we know at least know that they're not really like a whole baddie or anything. They're not like doing anybody harm or at least trying to. So I think, yeah, it's probably best chance we can. And if not, we always can try to figure out later tomorrow. But for now, yeah, let's try to tackle them.
Yep. I agree with you.
Okay. So, let's see. Are you planning to come up behind him or try to sneak up on him in the grass?
Having a plan to try to spring something sneakily seems like a good idea. Maybe the person that's swift and quiet enough can try to move out ahead, and then the rest of us can try to get him from behind as soon as you,
Oh yeah.
so that there's a distraction and whether or not they flee the other way. Yeah.
In that case, I think it would probably be best if I were to come from behind. So if you try to double back down the path, I'd be able to go ahead and catch him. I got a net, and you try to confront him, so he's not feeling. I mean, I don't mean no offense to you, Pearl, but it's like if this person is being scared of everything, he's probably be slightly more intimidated of me than you. And again, I'm just going off of just like. I think I am slightly taller than you. He just like perks his ears up,
No,
trying to like.
you're right. I just make maps. I am not comfortable with this.
All right, and in case should he try again, try to do a thing once again, I got a net, and in case like if that mouse does have a weapon, I think we got needles, don't we?
Oh, I hope it doesn't come to that. All right.
Oh,
Well, let's do it quickly. Come on, Poppy. We'll try to hit him off.
Okay, I'll be right behind you.
Scurry ahead to try to get hit, and then like pop out in front, and then like say, "Halt! Stop there!"
At this, he kind of goes, and he looks like he's going to try to run back the way he came, but he runs into Jerry.
With a net.
Here, I didn't do anything. I'm just out for a walk.
well, I'm out here for fishing, and it seems like I got a catch. Now listen, we don't want to harm you. We just want to talk, all right? So let's not just do anything we're gonna regret. Let's just calm down, and you're not in any major trouble, but we do need to talk to you, and we do need to talk this over as professionally as we can.
That was good, Jerry.
I don't have very many tips, but you could have some.
Look, we're not here for your pets. We're not here to rob you. The fact is that we've actually been trying to figure out who's been stealing the food and been taking stuff from the pantry, and we just we've been following you, and we found out you were talking to someone. And again, you're not in any trouble, but I just want to emphasize that, look, whatever trouble you're in, this is something we could try to work out, but we do need to be able to talk to us, and we do need you to come back to the tree and explain everything.
Oh, oh dear. And his ears droop, and he kind of looks shorter now because he's slouching. I knew he'd catch up with us. We tried to warn them, but what can we do? They're bigger and meaner.
We know how you feel, so look, let's just all just go back to the tree, and we can discuss this all over with Mr. Birch, and we can all think of something. There might be a punishment for you later down the line, but for now, just let you know that, again, you're not in any major trouble. Let's just try to figure this problem out, okay?
Okay. But you only have a certain amount of time, because if the next delivery doesn't arrive, they'll get mad.
Alright. And when you were talking with these other... And I'm just going to make an assumption here. I'm assuming that these other creatures you're talking to, they're rats, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mm.
We made a bad choice, and we entered in an agreement with them, and we thought it'd be a good way to get extra pips. And, well, it backfired, and now they're making threats, and they're saying they're going to hurt the others, and that maybe there may be an accident the next time the wagon comes through. And Cherry Grove needs the trade wagon, and if it doesn't get through, if they don't let anyone through, this is all our fault.
Well, listen, the last thing we want is any harm to come to any mice. Now, one thing we do have to know is, when I was overhearing your conversation earlier, the rats mentioned that they were going to deliver the new list, the old way to do it. How did they deliver their list to you?
Gives you the sheet of paper that's in his paws. They always give us a list, and usually it's only once a week. And it has very specific things they tell us. They had us tell us things that we have for food, and so they put certain food items that their boss wants. And we bring them to him, and he pays us in pips. And if it's late, he gets mad, and we don't get paid very much. But they've been getting meaner, and now they're demanding back-to-back thefts, and it's been getting harder to get items with the guards, and we suspected there was someone else investigating. It looks like it was you. He wants it now. We've never met the boss. The other rats seem kind of scared of him, but they give us a list, and we have until the date written on the list to deliver it. And if it's late, they say they'll do something.
Alright. So that log out there by the Glitter Creek, is that the usual place you always meet by the rats by? Is there any other places you've been meeting them or contacting them?
We ran into them once, the first time, and they demanded pips for crossing, and that's when Burcone came up with the idea to maybe come up with a trade idea, so we didn't have to pay the pips. Only we discovered rats expect you to keep your deal, and so we had to start stealing for them, and they'd give us pips, but there was threats if we didn't. And it keeps getting worse, and I'm afraid we're stuck in this.
Poppy, you know, I've been thinking. We had that deal for a long time, Mr. Alcox. And then eventually Mr. Alcox just changed his mind, and he could do whatever he wanted. And then we came here to this tree, and I saw how everyone was living here and how they had food from the cherries. And it occurs to me now, it seems like every time someone is mean to you and threatens you to do something to someone if you don't do something, maybe just giving them what they want doesn't always work. I don't want to hurt anybody, and I certainly don't want to fight a bunch of big old rats. But we already know that they have hurt and taken and stolen and threatened the wagons that come through here, and if the mice that come from Greyhouse want to ever try to make it to Newhouse safely, they might have to cross this creek.
We would indeed have to cross this creek, and well, there's the children that work outside the tree. What if something were to happen to them? They're not even involved in this.
Hadn't even thought of that. I don't know, maybe maybe Mr. Birch will be able to have a good idea. I don't understand. What is your name, Mr. Mouse?
My name is Frond. I'm a berry picker. I'm friends with Burcone. He does cherry picking, and we met one day and we're laughing because our paws were both stained with fruit juice. We've been friends for a while, but he's always getting himself in trouble, and I usually get him out, but there's no getting out of this one.
Oh, Mr. Frond.
Maybe you and Mr. Birch can help.
First of all, you're not very good at your letters, and I hope that gets better. And second of all, Mr. Frond, why didn't you speak to Mr. Birch before?
We were afraid to. The rat said if we went into anybody and anybody found out and the guards tried to come, then there'd be a big problem.
Well, and I motion toward Poppy and Jerry. We know how that feels, where you're afraid to do something because someone threatens you. So it's very understandable, and we'd be happy to...
I do have a little information. I don't know if it'll help much, but sometimes I've stayed in the grass just a bit and pretended like I was going back because I wanted to see where he went. The rat comes out of the stump on the other side because the water is shallow there. And he walks eastward along the creek. But where the creek curves, and I never see him continue along the bank to the north there. So I'm wondering if they're staying somewhere at the bend in the creek there. See him walk past. But I don't know. I've always been too afraid to walk over there. They're bad enough at us all the time. I didn't want to get caught snooping.
Well, that is very helpful. I think that will be helpful, and we can speak on your behalf to Mr. Birch, hopefully, and toward the other mice at Cherry Blossom Grove. It's perfectly understandable when you're afraid and being threatened to maybe not make the best decisions. But maybe we can work together now to be able to make this place safe, especially since we're not sure when the wagon is going to come from the north, and those mice are going to be in danger.
Well, I'll tell you what. Burcone and I aren't the bravest mice, but we got everyone in this mess, and it's only fair if we help you get out. So if there's a way we can help fix this, we will.
We truly appreciate your help, and hey, better late than never. One other thing I do have to mention is the fact is if there is any other mice besides you and Birdcone, I think you said his name was, if there's any other mice, they do have to come clean, and we do have to know if there's any other mice possibly involved in this, just to make sure there's nobody else like causing any more trouble for the cherry tree.
No, it's just been Burcone and I that I know of. We do the list every week. He goes in and gets the items, and he brings them out to me, and then I take them down the path.
All right.
Right. Well, let's head home and set all this right.
Okay, so you guys walk back through the grass. There it is. Let's see. Go to it.
By the way, Franz, you're not working like the early shift the next day, right? Because this is way late in the day or late in the night. It's gonna be real tiresome to get up the next morning, daybreak, and just go back to work. I mean, it's just even with like Mrs. Sorry, Mrs. Blossom's amazing food, everything. This must be just exhausting work. You must have having the next day off, or is this how that works, or like? Because I can't imagine it'd be getting much sleep doing this.
You see, Furcone works mornings, so he gets to turn in earlier because he just does the theft and he goes to bed. And I have to do all the walking, but my shift doesn't start till around lunch, so I get to sleep in a little. How did you guys figure it out anyway?
Well,
We had an ambassador help us.
that's right.
Well, I won't ask, but that sounds like a delightfully fun thing to have. To have special helpers. I suppose we'd better go find Mr. Birch early and get this over with.
It's late, but honestly, now is better time than, especially with a time limit on our hands. Might as well just get over with now and prepare for the future. Is Mr. Birch still up, actually?
Well, considering there was just a theft, he probably is in the pantry. And he'll probably want to see Furcone, too. When you get to the tree and you go up the stairs, you see the pantry door is open. The guard is still there. And you can hear voices downstairs. It sounds like Mr. Birch is talking to the guard downstairs, who seems very upset. Again, at not catching the thief. And he turns and sees you at the door. Says, any luck? We've lost more items tonight.
Well, we have good news and we do have bad news. So, the good news is we have discovered who has been stealing the food from the pantry and what has been happening to it. The bad news is it gets a little bit more complicated.
Complicated, you say? You found the thieves. How would that be more complicated?
Well, the thieves weren't stealing it more for themselves. They were stealing it because they were threatened by the rats at the Glitter Creek. They've basically been extorting these mice to steal for them and been threatening them and basically threatening to do harm to the rest of the cherry tree if these demands aren't met. And recently they've been getting meaner and meaner, and they basically been extorting more and more. But we have talked to the mice who are responsible for the theft, and they are willing to help us. So right now we just need to really think of a plan what to do, because we do have a bit of a rat problem with the tree right now.
I see. Well, Frond, who have you been working with? In Furcone, sir. Well, I'm sorry you found yourself in this pickle. I won't be too hard on you, seeing as I'm sure the rats have been plenty, but you'll still have to make up for this. That'll be extra shifts. Helping... what's your name? Helping Miss Blossom.
That makes sense, actually, yeah.
So she can put you to work scrubbing dishes and floors and tables and whatever else she sees fit to. So you'll report for extra shifts an hour before lunch every day, and you can work it off that way.
Mr. Birch? And this, like, she becomes really kind of embarrassed and shy, but she forces through it and she says, well, Mr. Birch, I think these rats are going to continue to be a problem, and I think they may really do something to the next shipment that comes in from the north. And what's worse is some of our mice might come through and head that way as well. And they may get hurt. Never mind the fact that some of the mice from your tree that leave could face whatever they do as well as a reprisal. So, I don't want to do this, but we have to, because of the mice coming from our tree. We need to make sure they have a safe place to go and to pass through. So anyways, my friends and I probably going to try to work together to find a way to drive off these rats and make sure that that creek is safe. And I think something even worse than pots and pans, but needed, if you're willing, is if Mr. Furcone and Mr. Frond could help us.
Well, I would volunteer them, but I will tell you this. Frond is the braver of the two, and Furcone probably hasn't been seeing the rats because that mouse is scared of his own shadow. I feel they'd be better serviced in the kitchen, though I can recommend some, well, we have a guard mouse who I could volunteer, and then we have a young mouse who, well, he'd be old enough to join the guard. He hasn't yet, but he's a pretty brave mouse when it comes to things, and pretty handy on his feet. I could send the two of them with you. They both have their own weapon, and, well, they're under my pay, so you needn't worry about that.
We don't know how. Actually, I would turn to Frond and ask this. Mr. Frond, how many rats do you think are over in that log? You just see the one? Oh, Birdie froze? Yeah, Birdie froze. It's alright. She'll come back, hopefully.
Oh, well.
Or it'll, kick off. And well, since our referee is frozen, I don't know if I'm over OSRifying this, but my thought was, what if we could talk to the bunnies and form like a commonwealth of critters?
Oh, yeah.
Because like the bunnies aren't going to hurt us; they're herbivores, right? So, but if we could, if we could get them on our side, then we could maybe stand a chance of creating a safe place for the mice from Greyhouse. And then we could, because we also have to deal with the birds, because that remains a problem.
Yeah. And that's assuming, like, the rumors that the bunny warrens aren't haunted and ghosts are a part of this game, but I don't know that or not. But besides that, I think it sure's, like, because the rats also want, like, their food, like, the next day, and...
yeah, no, you're right, actually. That has to be dealt with. Also, we just need to know what we're dealing with. Like, we just don't know enough yet.
And actually, I don't think we ever went to the Warrens. We don't know how long it'll take to go there and back. So I think it might be a good idea to at least, like, prepare, like, something for the rats, at least. Like, not full, like, all their list of demands, everything, but enough to where, like, we can try, like, offer some type of trade-off and see, we're get a feel idea of what we're dealing with and decide, like, if force is needed or not. Like, or to try to see, like, if they're more bark than bite. If they're, like, trying to threat, but they're not actually, like, willing to back it up.
Yeah, like, what if it's just this one rat? Like, then we just give him a spanking and get the heck out of here and never bother us again. I wonder if it's Discord, actually, too, that, computer came partially... Oh, there we go. Haha.
Oh, the computer became unplugged, so okay.
I'm back. Sorry.
No problem. I've definitely looked down
one
before.
Stupid two-part.
Yeah.
Goes from the wall to a box, and then the box to the computer.
Yeah.
And it comes unplugged in the middle, and you're like, well, both other ends are plugged in. Why?
Yeah. Sure enough. I have had that happen too.
Oh, the rats.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's see. Well, there's the boss, and all the other rats are scared of him, and I know we've seen at least 2, because one of them has an ugly scar on his face. Kind of between his eye and his nose, and it's jagged. So I've seen at least 2, and then there's a boss.
Oh, and you've
But
never
I
seen
wouldn't
the
be
boss.
surprised if there's a couple more. No, never seen them.
So,
They always talk about them.
Jerry and I were talking while you're gone. We have kind of a 2-part plan, I think. Okay, so the first thing is that obviously they're gonna want these ingredients like tomorrow, and so we have to do something right now. And Jerry was thinking that we could actually gather the ingredients and use it to parlay or gather intelligence or spring a trap or whatever that ultimately looks like. Kind of an open palmed plan where we can keep this going, because in a way we have some control and power right now, and as soon as we take that away, we're not going to be able to gather more information or be able to work with them. They think that they kind of own us right now. And then the second thing is that if we're not able to drive them away, or they are a more serious threat, that a medium-term goal would be to go to the haunted burrows and figure out the fate of the bunnies, because maybe we could kind of form like a commonwealth of herbivorous creatures to work together here, because we keep having problems.
Well, there is also the possibility. He always sneaks off after, and if you were in the grass and quiet before the meeting, and then I went and delivered the goods, makes me feel a little better knowing you're there, actually. You could potentially follow him and find out exactly where he goes.
Yeah.
If the goods on that list are worth that information. I mean, we could look anyway and see if we can find it, but you could follow him. I can't ask questions because they get so mad when we ask questions.
Is the list like
that.
completely unreasonable, or is it possible? Like, is it possible to try
I
to put it
haven't
together?
looked at it yet, to be honest. I was
Yeah.
very upset, but I think Mr. Birch looked at it last night. He said there was one item that Ms. Blossom would be really upset about, but most of it would be doable.
Okay. This sounds like a good plan.
All right.
So tomorrow night we go and we deliver, and you'll be in the grass before. I don't know how soon the rat gets there, so you might want to get there a little more before and find a good hiding spot.
Yeah,
You could even bring some leaves from the tree and sit under them so that nothing could see you. I'm sure Mr. Birch could pull a few.
Yeah, this would be good to have some kind of camouflage.
I know it's what the night guard do so that hawks and owls don't see them, is they sit under a couple leaves at night.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, we'll, oh, really? Okay.
In case the getting the ingredients may not be feasible because they may ask too much or it's not possible to get all of them, I'm curious to know if anyone visited the Warren before and how long it would take to get there and back. I just want to see if that's still a possibility or not. We can explore.
To get where?
To the like the rabbit warrens where it was like the river that was haunted for them, or.
So there's one where it's haunted and they don't live anymore. And then they do theoretically live to the
tree stump 2 hours away to
west.
the southeast. Oh, it's to the west.
The tree stump, I think it was it, you said 2 hours to the east. That's the haunted old one.
Oh,
they don't live in for reasons. They moved to the west, I believe it is.
Oh, okay.
So there are some there.
Do they know how far away they are?
The Frondwood, yes, because he's a berry picker, and they sometimes use the bunnies to haul berries.
Oh, that's right. Well, how far away are they, Frond?
Well, too far. usually if you get up early, I'm not part of the early shift, but they say it takes about half an hour to get there
Oh.
by walking, but it's a lot faster coming back because, well, bunnies move faster than mice.
Okay. Do they have like someone in charge of the bunnies? Are these sapient bunnies? Or are they like
We're not really
semi-sapient?
in charge of them. We more or less like trade them things.
Oh.
They do like certain fruits or berries sometimes. We'll drop some on purpose or leave some near their burrow. Or if we find like an apple or something, they love that. Or some new tender leaves from the top of the tree, and bring the little tender leaflets to them, and so they kind of help us in exchange for food, but they don't like to think of us as bosses, and we don't really think of them as pets because they're their own creature, I guess.
They live in a burrow, like a rabbit burrow.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should speak to the rabbit boss. But anyways, I don't know that changes the plan. Like, it sounds like we really ought to, go and try to spy and get them the supplies and just give them, and then try to spy on them and see how many rats there are and who this boss is. What if the boss is a cat or something, for God's sakes?
Oh,
Like-
that's just silly, Pearl. A cat in charge of rats, really now?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just this is a scary thought I had.
That would be scary. Cats can climb trees, can't they? I hope there's no cat over here.
Oh, it's terrifying to think about. Well,
Now we really have to figure it out because I can't sleep tonight if there's a cat.
I say, hogwash. If there was a cat or anything, they wouldn't be in charge of any rats or anything, not to their taste or liking.
okay. Well, have to go back tonight either way. Bunnies are going to be too big and noisy, so
So if anything, they'll be like our last resort in case we do have to end up in a confrontation with the rats. We can try like see if we can rely on the bunnies for more support, maybe. But for now, let's try to be sneaky about it.
yeah. And we yeah, let's get that list and figure out what's going on and make a plan based on talking to Mrs.
Oh, she's definitely asleep by now, Mrs.
Oh,
Blossom.
I'm sorry, I thought it was the next day. Yeah. Let's get some sleep then. Oh boy.
Mr. Birch adds in, well, you had a late night. I tell you what, I'll have Ms. Blossom make sure she sets aside a nice portion for later, so if you sleep in, you can still get a hearty helping of breakfast.
Oh, that's
Especially you,
awfully
Jerry.
kind.
I love her cooking. So don't worry about being up early for breakfast. She'll make sure you got plenty on when you get around to it.
We truly appreciate it, Mrs. Burge, and hopefully we aren't like putting any more further trouble on Miss Blossom, because out of everything, I truly hope I don't want to put more work on Miss Blossom. She has been just lovely this entire time. But yeah, so as early as we can, when we wake up, let's get started working our plan, and let's see what we can do about these rats.
Another thing before you go to bed, do you want to meet the two mice I mentioned tomorrow, or would you prefer to meet that after your mission with the rats?
Are they sneaky mice?
They can be. One is a guard. The other, well, he could be a guard if he wanted to be. He's pretty smart and not really the kind to be scared.
Poppy, are you sneaky?
I'm more of a hidey mouse. A hidey and hit on the head kind of mouse. Sneaking's, well, that's not really my... I could try.
I think maybe we could use all the help we can, and then they can hide in the brush, and then maybe me and Jerry can sneak in and figure out what's in this place. And if it gets down to a fight, we'll need all the help we can get.
Plus, it'd be better to brief like the two mice helping us now rather than like the day of. It was like, oh, by the way, we're just gonna fight some rats. Here, let's just go fight them quick. Let's give them at least a day's warning before that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys go to bed. And you all sleep well. Really nice, fluffy feather beds. And you're really exhausted. And you wake up the next day. All the other mice are busy already. But when you get down to the dining room, as promised, Miss Blossom has set aside large portions. With enough for Jerry to have seconds or thirds if he so desires.
I think he'll just save, like, he'll eat half the portions and save the rest for, oh, this is just for later, in case we have to stake out late at night. Don't want to get too hungry at night, just in case.
Oh, don't worry about that, Jerry. I'll be packing a special lunch. One that doesn't have a scent, but I promise it'll taste better than the one that you had last time.
Oh, that's wonderful, Miss Blossom. Thank you very much indeed. Hopefully we'll get this whole problem all just straightened out.
Okay, so it is daytime, now what?
So I think it's just we're taking a look at the list and seeing what the ingredients they're asking for are, and then trying to see like if it's like too unreasonable, or they're asking like, oh, the same amount before, but it's like, yeah, do the same thing, but we don't have it anymore, or just see what we can do with the list and see if we're able to prepare that much or as much as we could for it.
Okay. So, oh shoot, where did I put that? I hate it when I lose a paper. All right, so I will just give you some items then. On the list, you notice a couple things that are just standard. There it is. So cherry syrup, which is easy to get, and more fresh biscuits. He has the word fresh underlined. And then the item that's going to be hard to get is actually one that is imported. And I'm having trouble finding it right now. Okay, go with that. He is also asking for some clover honey. He wants not 1 jar, but 4 jars of clover honey. It's an imported item, and there's only 6 of them in the pantry. Miss Blossom is very upset about it because she likes to use it as a special ingredient, and she does not think the 2 jars will do until she is able to get more. She will let you take them if you absolutely must, but she's not happy about it.
Well, hopefully this will be the very last time anything gets taken, and then all of this can be set aright and things can be restocked and replenished. But who knows what these rats could do?
I'm just curious if the clover honey has ever been stolen before during any of the thefts, or this is like the first time that it's now being asked for.
They had 1 jar disappear, I believe. It was 2 or 3 thefts ago. We had a jar disappear. Apparently he liked it enough to ask for 4 more.
What if we... Are there any such ingredients that we could carry a barrel of them, and then maybe we could hide in the barrel? I have an idea. What if we gave them a gift and actually gave them more than what they asked for? And the thing to give them, something to make them drunk.
Ah, you mean like a spiked item or a wine that's too strong?
Yeah, you said that you sometimes give apples to the bunnies. Maybe an old
Mhm.
apple that has turned and gotten real sour and fermented.
Fermented cherries.
Ooh, yeah, a cherry. What is the stuff called? Oh, that really sweet drink. Why can't I think of it? It's made from pears and apples and stuff.
Cider?
Cider, a cherry cider. Yummy. And anyways,
Like a sweet cherry cider that is too strong.
yeah, and tell them, that we apologize that we've been so sorry on these shipments, and we'll do much better, and that this is something even on top, cherry on top, if you will.
Oh, to placate them. They might go for that, but then again, they are rats. They may just kind of expect that kind of thing.
Oh, we want them to expect it, is my thought.
Well, normally we toss that stuff out, but I do believe we might have just the thing. We do have some cider jars already, and we could just add a little something to them. I'm sure Miss Blossom could get it whipped up today, and will definitely help if you have to break in and they drink some.
Yay, let's make some cider.
Alright, let's get these rats drunk.
So he sends up he has a little mouse take up a couple jars of cider and sends out a message that some of the mice are supposed to collect the discarded cherries. And it should be ready for your shipment tomorrow. I also would like to tell you, at lunch today, I will be sitting at the table with you, and I will have 2 mice who will be joining us. We have Chicory. He's been a guard mouse here for, a couple years. He's very good at what he does. He's not one to just sit and watch. He actually prefers patrol. I think he would be perfect for this kind of thing. He likes to be out and about and do stuff. And then I have Gooseberry. He's the young mouse I mentioned. He tends to go by just Goose, but he would be a good addition too to the team, I think. And you both can meet them at lunch and ask them questions if you like. I also have a special bag that I was going to give you after you solved this problem, but I think it might be better to give it to you now. I can give it to you after lunch, but don't open it until you are well away from curious eyes. I don't need rumors going around the tree, but I promise you it'll definitely be worth your while.
Okay, let's see here. I'll have to leave one of my ration. Or can you carry anything, Jerry?
He's just giving you the bag in the tree so that you can, take it up to your room.
Yeah, okay.
Look at it in your room kind of thing, and then decide
Good.
if you want to keep anything from the bag to use.
Gotcha.
It's stuff he's going to give after, but he feels it'd be more useful before.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do it. Let's meet with these people and
Alright.
check that bag out.
Okay, so You wait, and lunchtime rolls around, and you go upstairs to lunch, and it smells amazing, as usual. There is one table, though, that stands out. It only has 6 seats. And Mr. Birch is already there, and you notice one other mouse is present. He must, from his age, he must be Chicory. Gooseberry does not appear to be here yet. And there are 3 other open seats.
I take one of them, and I offer my paw. Hello, my name is Pearl.
Ah, pleasure to meet you, Pearl. I am Chicory. I am a guard here. I'm sure Mr. Birch has mentioned already, but I look forward to working with you.
Do you already know what we're about to do?
Oh, he did mention something about a certain problem that popped up and what we might be doing, but he said he would leave the particulars to you and that I am basically to follow your lead and do anything that is requested.
You must be very brave. Well, I suppose it takes a lot of bravery to be a guard mouse.
Some say so. I find it fun. I guess I do it for the thrill of it.
Wow.
We don't have much action here around the tree, to be honest. The occasional fox, but not much. This problem's been a problem that's been needed to be dealt with for a long time coming.
I'm starting to think that sometimes it is better to deal with problems instead of just trying to placate them and hope that they get better. Some things don't get better, especially when someone is being mean to other mice. And I don't like the thrill of it myself at all. We're from Greyhouse, far to the east if you're across the old abandoned garden, and our people are likely to start moving away from the house soon, and I want to make sure they have a safe place to travel through.
Well, that is definitely a noble goal. Only 3 of you set out to clear the way. You are brave mice indeed.
That was kind of a spontaneous thing. The owl that we had an agreement with basically took it a bit too far with one of our fellow mouse friends, and after an incident happened, we decided to venture off for ourselves and see if there's greener pastures on the other side, if there's a more safer place for all of us. So yeah, just with other creatures doing the same sort of thing across our journeys, we like to at least like make the journey safer, and to other mice friends as well, we like to make it safer. Just anyone we come across and help out anyone in the same situation.
And at this point in time, you notice a younger mouse. He's definitely adult-ish or on the edge of, but he scampers in. Sorry, I was late. I was helping out some of the berry pickers with a problem they had, and it took longer than we expected, but I'm here.
This is Gooseberry.
This is Gooseberry. He tends to go by Goose with friends.
Hello, and I introduce everybody.
Gooseberry!
Oh, hey! You must be Jerry! And Pearl, and, Poppy. Hi, nice to meet you all.
It's a Gooseberry male?
Yes.
Boy mouse? Okay. Oh, I really like this one. He's very cheerful. Is Mr. Birch still here?
Yes.
All in all, the mice of the Cherry Blossom Grove are just very mousy people. Which I take to be a compliment in this world.
Oh yes, yes. We love they love being considered very mousy indeed.
Well, our Maui said the Greyhouse are very mousy, but just in a different way, probably in a worse off kind of way.
Alright. Okay, well, we should get the items together and make our plan and go over our equipment, and then go back to our rooms and uncover what is in this bag.
Before we do that, I want to ask Gooseberry, and I just want to say, like, so Gooseberry, do you have any idea what we're doing or what might happen later on? Has Mr. Birch told you anything yet?
Well, I know the rats have been a problem for a while, so it sounds like we're finally gonna maybe take care of it. Well, I don't know what he told you about me, but I'm really good at scouting and getting into places where I don't belong. But I'm really good at looking at stuff. He said Pearl makes maps, which is really cool because I get up high all the time and I can't draw. But if I could describe what I could see, man, that would be so cool to be able to make maps like that.
I'd love to teach you, and I love making maps, and I wish I could do things like climb up in high places and travel, but I don't very much like the danger all the time of doing that. But I really do like making maps, and I would love to show you sometime.
Well, that would be fun. Hey, are you going to keep traveling after this?
Oh, well, we have to, you see. I think our home, I think people are going to leave it soon, and we have to make sure that there's a safe place for them to go.
Oh. Well, don't tell Mr. Birch I said this, but well, he really wants me to be a guard, which I guess would be cool, but it seems kind of boring. And I want to travel and adventure, and I want to see things, and well,
Wow, yeah.
I don't know.
And I shake his paw. Oh, yes, of course you can go with us. Of course. It would be so helpful.
Oh my goodness, I was afraid to ask.
No,
I thought
yes.
you would say no. Most think I'm crazy.
Yeah, I don't even ask. I don't even ask poor Jerry or Poppy. I'm just like, yes, this is excellent.
And Jay was just gonna say, like, well, after we solved everything and we talked with Mr. Birch, we'll see what we can do if, like, there's any disagreement. It's like, okay, sure, let's just...
I have a list here. Let's see. So far, our hirelings are Poppy, Frond, Furcon, Chicory, and Goose. That might contract down possibly later to just Goose and Poppy. Okay. So, yeah, let's figure out what's in these bags. Our rooms. Apparently it requires some discretion.
Yes. Okay. So you go to your room and open this bag, and inside are 3 tablets. You've heard of these.
Oh my.
But seeing this with your own eyes, there's a little paper with notes on it, and it shows the symbols for the tablets. One is a tablet of healing. One is a magic missile. And one is invisibility.
Jerry, I've heard of these things, but I think I would be terrible at this. Think you could try to use these?
Oh, I've heard a lot of things too. And I know it's dumb to mess with these things, but I kind of want to try them out.
What's your
I
willpower?
want to see if...
6 or something.
Well, my...
2.
So actually, my willpower is my lowest. That is 7.
It's 7?
Yeah.
Okay, that's way better, and that's actually really awesome, and it's a pretty median
And I know
score.
this is probably irresponsible, but I kind of want to see if Gooseberry might be interested in trying out some magic as well.
Yeah.
He's adventurous, so probably.
Okay, so you're gonna need 3 slots. We probably need to store some stuff. I don't have.
You don't even have to take them all with you at a time unless you want to use all of them.
Well, all of them are really.
Because you could leave some of them in your rooms while you go. They would be secure. But you could pick and choose what you want to take with you. Also, inside of it, which you don't have to take with you or use immediately, are little, like, coupon-y style things. It's a note to Miss Blossom to give you each a ration or 2 for when you head out. And it's signed with Mr. Birch's signature so that she will give it to you for free, no questions asked, in exchange for your aid. You also, inside the bag, find a slingshot and a little pouch of stones.
Okay. I don't know if you need the sling and stones. I already have one of those. I'm gonna bank here in my room the 2 rations and 50 pips, leaving me 16 pips, and I'll have quill and ink, torches, a string across my body, compass and rations, stone pouch and sling, and then I have my sword. So that leaves 2 slots then that I can carry, and I can even carry some of these tablets if that helps you. But I won't use them because my willpower is 4.
Yeah. Alright, so with what I got, I actually do have a sling and a pouch of stones. I have net, I have my needle, torches, and rations, so I got 1 slot available.
Being able to have open slots, I think, is a very good idea because we may need to
Sure.
carry stuff. There might
So I was
be
thinking,
something
like,
happen.
so I think, like, if one of the other mice don't have it, give the slingshot to one of the other guard mice, perhaps. And as far as which tablet to use, I can only think of the 2 at the top of my head. So the one we absolutely probably do need to use the most for this mission is the invisibility one. The second is more for just in case if things do get hairy, the magic missile, as more of just in case. For the healing, well, it would be a good idea. I think at this point, possibly not. That's the one we probably could just leave at home at the tree, maybe, so that if we do need healing, like, I think that's more like we come back and worst case scenario. But I think the 2 we do need just in case is visibility and the magic missile one. So at the very least, I could carry one of them and probably give one other possibly to maybe Gooseberry.
Yeah. You've got Goose and Chicory coming with you, so.
Alright.
Or Frond and Furcone.
They're serving time doing dishes.
I see.
Frond is the braver of the 2, and Furcone would probably freak out and be the mouse to scream and run.
Well, we have to have Frond because he's the one that's going to make the deal.
Frond could come, yes, because he has to do the deal. Yeah, he'll be
True.
coming at night.
But
He said he'd feel better knowing all of you are there in the bushes in case the rats get really mad for whatever reason.
So we give either Chicory or Goose the sling and stone pouch. And then that leaves 2 open slots with me. And what kind of weapons and loadout does Chicory and Gooseberry and Poppy and Frond have?
Chicory wears armor. It's not super flashy, but it does its job. He has a spear that he uses. It's a really nice sharpened stone he's super proud of. He made it himself, and it's tied on really good with some fishing line. Gooseberry carries bow and arrows. He likes to scamper around. He also happens to have a fish hook and thread for grappling hook. He likes to scurry up to high places, or shoot from above.
Yeah, so we should definitely give Chicory the sling, unless Jerry, if you don't have one, I don't know.
No, I have one, and I was thinking maybe give one to Frond, but probably giving Frond a weapon while doing the exchange probably not a good idea because the rats will take note of it probably.
Yeah.
So
Then Poppy has what, a bow and arrow or a sling or something?
She's got a little a sewing needle sword
Oh, she has a sword.
that she carries. A little sewing needle one.
Oh gosh, maybe actually she should have the sling and stone.
I'm not sure how much damage it does if it's a D8. I'm trying to find the weapons page.
I have that it does a d6 if it's a needle, but there are two of them. There are two different ones.
It's the long needle
Oh. Yeah.
wrapped around a stick. So it's kind of like the sword, but it's...
All right. Well, sounds like we got the supplies. We have the plan. We got the people. So we got everything that we need. All we need now is the time, and get out there and get ready.
Okay. I didn't get that written down. Okay. All right. So you wait. You have dinner. Ms. Blossom gives you each a, or she actually will give it to if you guys are full, she can give it to one of the guards. A little pouch that's got some stuff in it for you guys to have a snack or a small meal later if you're hungry on duty to keep you awake. And now all you have to do is wait for Frond to head out. You actually may want to head out before he does so that you're in place before the rat is.
Oh, and
but you know where the meat spot is.
Yeah. Before we leave, double check with Birch or the cherry pickers to see if we could get those leaves so we can hide better out in the hiding spot before it becomes fully dark.
Mr. Birch sends Furcone up since he's part of this whole mess. And he does a couple trips, but he brings down one or two leaves for each mouse that are decent size that you can just kind of sit under.
And the barrel of cider. You're gonna try to put two little strings on it so that it looked like, poor old Frond actually had to strap it all the way out there. But of course, hopefully he does not have to. Hopefully that. But never actually cast a spell in this game.
Yeah, I have no idea how to do it. I'm as clueless as Jared is.
On page 12, beside its power, roll a d6 equal to the power. For any 4, 5, or 6, mark a usage.
See.
You roll a 6, take d6 damage to your will for every 6 roll. Then make a will save. Fail, you take the drained condition.
Oh.
So you don't want a 6.
Oh, okay.
Natural 6s are bad.
Now, the invisibility is very limited. And I don't know if it takes a turn to cast. I think it might. And so...
Make creature invisible for dice number of turns.
Right. So
any movement reduces duration by 1 turn.
Right. So really, this not really a... this is not really... And then in order to get the spell back, you have to go an entire day without opening your eyes for 24 hours while holding the tablet. Right.
Basically, everyone camps somewhere and you just sit there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I like that they give recharge, but some of them suck.
That's great. I
Pretty
think
sure that condition is considered. I think it was like moon blinking in the owl books of the Guardians of Gahul.
trying to find the condition states. That's another thing I don't know anything about. Anyways, the point being that works more like hide and shadows or what is the wild step or whatever you call those abilities where you have to stay still. Because if you try to move, you'll just run out. You know, if you move 3 turns. So
I actually have all of the little conditions printed out. So if someone gets a condition, it has it on the little cards. They're printouts in the book. Let's see if I can pull some out and take a look at them. There's frightened. See if I can find drained. He's in here somewhere. Ha! Disadvantage on all will saves, and it clears after a full rest. So that's what would happen if you roll a 6, is you now have disadvantage on your will saves until you can rest.
and for damage, you lose your hit points, and then you start taking damage to your strength. And then you become incapacitated. Critical damage. After taking strength damage, they have to do a strength save every single time. And then you'll take critical, and I think critical leads to more conditions, like you start having things happen and get incapacitated. And then once you're incapacitated, you got 6 turns, and then you die. Which is a lot of options, actually. Oh, strength reduced to 0, you're dead, actually. Oh, no, that's for creatures, not for mine. Yeah.
I think for mice, you have a certain number of turns to get help, and if you don't get help or get moved to...
Yeah, actually, we should bring that healing tablet. I'll carry it.
Okay.
I'll put it on here.
Or Poppy could carry it because she has space if you need someone who has...
do it. Let's do that.
Space to do that.
All right, let's see how this goes. Let's head out there and set up this little camp and try to hide and yeah.
Yeah, as a mouse, if your strength is 0, you are dead. If dex is 0, you are unable to move. And if will is 0, you are just like a little ball of frightened, insensible fur and can't move. Or make good decisions, I guess it would be.
Yeah.
So strength you can't recover from, dex and will you can, but that would involve... You can rest and recover if you are able to survive the situation. That's how that works. So, like, if you're a ball of, like, shaking fur in the corner and you get killed, you're toast. If you survive, you can recover. All right. I wrote that in the wrong spot. And you said you gave the, what was it? The sling and stones to one of the mice?
I think it was to Poppy, right? Because she didn't have a...
It might have been to Poppy. It was either Poppy or Chicory. We could give it to Poppy because I think she has space. So she has a ranged attack now. Okay.
I think the general plan for Poppy is where for all of us, we're going to find in some way to track them down or confront them, worst comes to worst. But I think for Poppy, it's probably best, again, not to, like, exclude Poppy out of the action, but have Poppy, like, be, like, in the back line, so that in case something does happen, she'll be able to heal us, and if we all have to run, then Poppy's, like, the one most safe, like, out of the range of danger, possibly.
Okay. So it is dark, and you go down. Frond is kind of standing there. He's got the bag of goods. He's like, I don't know. Some ways I feel more nervous tonight. Go wrong, and some ways I feel better because I'm not alone. I hope this is the last time I do this.
I hope so too, Mr. Frond.
Oh well, nothing to it. And he starts down the trail through the dark grass. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so back in the dark grass. Okay, so you're going through, and it's nighttime. And okay. Here it is. You're walking through the grass, and you can see Frond in front of you. He's a little bit in front. He's a little nervous. And you think you hear something in the grass, but you're not sure.
So we haven't gotten there yet?
Nope. You're in between. You're about halfway there, and you're pretty sure you heard something rustling in the grass.
How far ahead, in what direction?
To the side. Probably to your right.
Like 12 inches away or 3 inches?
Probably closer to maybe a couple feet.
Okay.
But it sounded like something's moving.
Everyone, go down, be quiet, get the leaf over top of us.
So everyone holds still. Frond, up in front, who does not have a leaf, looks back, and he's now kind of feeling panicky and not sure if he should continue.
Cast invisibility on Frond.
Are we able to? I'm trying to remember.
Because basically, in order for us to cast spell, like we have to hold out the tablet and read it aloud.
Does it
So
say that?
one of us would have to be exposed
sense.
casting the spell.
Must hold the tablet in a paw and read
Make
it out loud.
creature invisible for, yeah. I don't know. It says make creature invisible for dice turn, so I don't know if that means you or someone else.
Yeah, I take it to be you could just target it, but either way, yeah, you were correct. We'd have to do just okay.
Or at least,
yeah,
I think some of us could hide, but the Miles casting the spell obviously isn't hidden.
Yeah. The mouse wouldn't be, and then Frond, who's up front.
What if we did the old classic throwing a rock somewhere behind us away from Frond? It's a risk, but at least it would get it away from Frond.
We could do. Poppy has a sling.
Bobby, throw something the way we can.
How many of us have slings, actually? Because we could.
Poppy has a sling, and Goof has a bow and arrow, but that may or may not be very good.
And I have a sling. So my idea is, yeah, one rock throw could go ahead and disparage it, maybe. But what if we threw a bunch of rocks at it? And
at it or away from it?
Well, now I've already got this idea that poor Frond... Oh. Okay.
Something
Wait.
moving closer. Frond at this point just freaks out and takes off running.
No, Frond, no. Okay. Well,
And you hear movement coming closer to the right, and it is going for Frond.
Okay, I think we have to fire it now.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to
It
fire
is
it.
a lot bigger than you.
Well, I have to save Frond, so.
Well, at least we'll get its attention, maybe. So yeah, I just fling the stone.
I think I roll for that one. Is this the missile?
And the double check on my thing. Yeah, it's a missile. And I think it says D6. Let's see if that's...
Deals some plus dice damage. Oh, you roll for that or I roll?
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I can't remember how it works when you're obscured, but maybe we just can't hit it. But I think it's D4, and you just roll the damage, and the players would do it, the characters.
Okay,
But I can't.
so you roll for it then.
Okay. Oh. Did I?
You got a 4. And it isn't too hurt, but now it's kind of stopped, and this big furry orange thing is staring at you. It's a little bigger than a cat.
It's orange, and it's bigger than a cat. Oh, God. Oh, no. We can't take down something bigger than a cat, but we have to help Frond. We have to help Frond.
Ron's running away now behind it. It is now staring at you because you just hit it.
Oh, now we can just run away then. Let's run away.
Yeah, let's run.
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to try to run away from this?
Yeah, maybe throw it the delicious cider or something and hope it drinks
just
it.
I throw one of our rations, maybe just.
Throw some food up and hope it goes for it.
Yeah, all that food that we prepared for the rats, now we're just going to give it to this thing and hope.
Or just Frond have all the food, actually.
I figure
I think he had- I think you guys were helping him carry some of it to the drop point.
Yeah, like the cider at least. Yeah, let's sacrifice the food. Our lives are more important.
Yeah.
Okay. So you throw this food and run, and this creature looks at you and goes, "What? You're not going to stay and play with me?" But he goes and he kind of knows it's running. Well, there's always next time.
Oh, no.
Thanks, but don't go too far, though. And he is paying attention to the snack. You can flee if you want to, or you can, I don't know which direction you want to head in.
Well, there's a terrible situation here where we need to get back to Frond.
Frond is running down the path towards the rats. He
Toward the
doesn't
rats.
have all the food. Yes, because he's not able to get back to the tree.
Right.
And he is terrified out of his little mind.
So we have to go all the way around, and we have to get Frond.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we have to divert around this thing and hide and wait and try to find Frond and get back to Glitter Creek.
You're going to have to run through the grass to the right or to the left.
Yeah. Let me look at the
So I
map.
think it appeared from when we first discovered it.
To the right.
It was to our right.
To the east.
Hickory
So those
has
are...
a guard.
Oh.
Thinks it would be wise to try to run because this is an orchard. And there are plenty of spaces where you can fit, and this thing cannot.
Yeah, let's do that and run. Its opposite direction should be to the left, which is to the north or northwest, and then Frond should be going to the northeast. So, all in all, that should be, I think, the direction. It's fruit trees, this orchard here.
So you're running through the orchard, and you happen to notice up ahead there's a tree with some really tangled roots. where there may be spaces for mice to fit. Chicory is running towards that to try to find a spot.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm with Chicory on this one. I trust his judgment. Let's find a space to hide.
Okay. So you get there. You are able to tuck into the roots a bit. The fox has now finished off his food and is coming to see you. However, he did have that nice wine that you'd prepared. Hey, little mice! Little mice, where'd you go? And he kind of stumbles and runs into the tree. Oh, what did you feed me? Not nice to play tricks like that. Oh, I love staying with my food. You, stay back.
Okay, if he's too big to fit in these little holes, then let's go to the dark edge of it and just start pelting him and drive him off.
Poppy pulls out her bow, and who else had one? Gooseberry has his bow. Or no, Poppy has the sling, Gooseberry has the bow.
And I
Anyone
got a
else
sling
have
as well.
range? Okay.
Yeah, I got a sling.
So Poppy rolls a 7. What did you roll?
Yeah, whoops. I rolled a 1.
Man, just Jerry's really good with that sling.
Let's see. So 1, a 4, a 7. You have hit this fox in the face repeatedly. You got him right above the eye. You got him a couple places. He is not having a good time. He doesn't feel good. Ugh. I don't like food like you. You don't play nice. And he stumbles off into the dark in the opposite. He goes west. He's not interested in you anymore. So he's done.
Oh, that was frightening. But that was emboldening. That was like, oh, and Jerry just feels like, oh, we fitted off a fox, guys. That's wow.
Pearl is shaking and she's like, we have to get Frond. We have to get Frond.
Oh yeah, we gotta double time it. We gotta catch up with Frond.
I think he'll stop. He was running really fast. Will he even go to the hangout?
We can't take the risk. We can't let him get hurt.
Yeah, and if he goes to hang out, he's probably more in trouble because he doesn't have all the food. So the rats are probably gonna be really angry with that. So yeah, we gotta double time. We gotta catch up.
At this point, Gooseberry speaks up. Well, I know the area. I've seen it from above a lot. We could just, instead of cutting back towards the path and across, I could just cut straight to where the path lets out by the creek to save time.
We have to try.
That said, it could blow our cover if the rats are waiting and lead to another problem. But we could at least stop in the grass there and see if Frond is there or not, or if he's been there. If either of you are good at reading footprints.
At this point, it's probably a better idea to like cut through the grass at this point because if we let Frond go by himself and the rats get him first, we don't know what they're gonna do to him. And as much as I'd like to believe that, hey, these rats are just showing off, they have no real threat to them, I don't really trust them to not really do anything to our friends. So even if it blows our cover, I think it's probably the best option. Just go straight through the grass and let's try to like see what we can get on Frond.
Okay. So you run through the grass. You are lucky. The fox appears to be very done with you. He has not shown up, and there's nothing up above. I don't know if you guys still have your leaps by now. I'm guessing probably not.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume not. I think we just dropped it as soon as the fox was like.
Yeah. So no leaves, but you make good time and get there. You find Frond curled up in the grass, kind of wheezing and going. He's basically just collapsed and exhausted and is just in a ball of fear. And she goes, "It didn't eat you. How did you not get eaten? Are you ghost?"
We fended it off, Front. It's no worse. Look, we've managed to fend it off. It's gonna leave us alone for now. Look, Front, you're safe. We did lose some of the food. We had to sacrifice some of it. But listen, when you're with us, you're safe. Look, just calm down. And the rats are probably going to be born happy that not all their food is here. But when we fended off the fox, so I say like we have probably a good chance against the rats. Now, I know this is still scary. You just had a terrifying experience now. But let's just try to see if we can solve this rat problem, and let's just try to see if we can placate them or try to drive them off, just like we drove off that fox. Okay?
Oh, I did manage to save 2 bottles of the honey. I was too scared to drop them, I guess. I just ran with them. But they're not going to be happy with me. Oh, dear.
How many pips did they ask you for the first time?
How many pips? Oh, to cross the creek?
Yes.
They wanted 200 pips.
Here, I don't have 200
I
pips.
don't carry that on a good day.
No.
It seems crazy. They just pick a number. I don't know.
I don't even know if they can even count that high. I don't know how smart a rat is, but that's just clearly extortionate.
I suppose they just want you to hand them a big pile. Yes, I don't think they could count.
Well, we have to try. And if they cause any trouble, we're going to have to be prepared to fight.
Well, at least there's usually only one, unless there's one waiting on the other side of the stump. So if he gets mad at me, I can just run away screaming, and that, well, he wouldn't expect anybody to be behind me in the grass.
That's right. I think that's a good
We'll make
plan.
sure he doesn't get too close to me and maybe set it down so he can pick them up and I don't have to hand them to him. I don't want to deal with a cranky rat.
That's a good idea, Frond. And if you feel like at any point you feel like you may be attacked or you're under any danger, just feel free to go ahead and just drop everything and just run back to us. Don't be afraid to ever do that. Just, we want to make sure you're safe, alright?
Okay. I can do this. Just give him the honey and apologize and promise I'll bring it tomorrow. I'll bring more than that tomorrow. I'll do a whole other list if they want. There, I could do this. And he kind of tentatively walks into the clearing and heads towards the stump. And you're sitting in the grass. You hear, "Hey, you! I thought I heard voices. You didn't bring that useless friend of yours again, did you?" "Him? No, he didn't come. I was talking to myself. I'm terrified. I just ran into a fox. You have no idea how hard it is." "Oh, stop giving excuses. That's clearly not what you promised." "Oh, honey, what I got. The fox got the rest. He'd be better off if he'd gotten you. We had a deal, and you broke it." "Oh, I can get you more." "The boss doesn't want promises. You broke your promise. We'll keep ours. You didn't bring food? We'll bring the trouble. Now get, before you're the one in trouble." And he comes scurrying out full speed from the stump towards the path.
Okay.
And he kind of ducks into the grass just on the other side of the path in case you need to talk to him, but he doesn't want to go home by himself right now.
Right. And the rat doesn't follow?
The rat does not follow. If you go through the grass, you can see him carrying the honey through the creek, and he is stomping off down the side of the creek, going eastish. A little northeastish.
I'm going to leave Poppy and others my rations and my quill and... No, I'll keep the quill and ink. Because we might need to do shenanigans. I think everything else could be useful, and the healing stone Hmm. I'm gonna hold
I
it.
still
I'm gonna hold it because there might be an emergency. We might fall into a place or something like that. So okay, you ready, Jerry? Now's the time.
uh, oh yeah, absolutely. Hey Goose, you said you were good at scouting things out. Well, this is something we could really use you for.
You need me to follow him?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm starting to think more and more that these rats aren't all that big that they're saying to be. Because if they really were the threat they were, they would have tried to hurt Frond. But they just kept making threats, so I'm thinking maybe they don't have something. But still, just to be safe, let's keep a safe distance, but keep our eyes on them.
The way it'd be good to get rid of them. They do this to Frond and Furcone. They're bullies. They need to go.
Goose, I
Agree.
think that you're wiser than we realize. Chicory and Frond and Poppy, you see us running. Be prepared to use that bow and to fight.
We will. And Chicory waves over Frond to stay close to him. Don't worry. Nothing will get you if you're with us. Just stay quiet, okay? No squeaking. Yes, sir. So Gooseberry follows him along, and I'm going to draw out the creek. You guys followed this little trail that came out to where the creek is. And it's kind of going this way. And then there's this bend that Frond had mentioned. The stump that you saw the trade at happened over here. And you are going in this direction. So you're following the creek and you come up to where the bend is. And just like Frond said, the rat goes to where the bend is. And there's this strange object in the ground. It looks too square, almost like it's not natural, almost like it was man-made. And he crawls down into it. And there's another voice there. Hey, you're late. Is that all he brought? Yeah, a little pipsqueak made an excuse about a fox. Leave that. Ha! Can't depend on those mice for nothing. We'll have our fun later. I bet those mice would pay handsomely if a couple of those young'uns went missing. And then it goes quiet. You just hear them laughing, and the laughter kind of fades away as they disappear.
Need to follow a little more, I think.
Yeah.
So Gooseberry is kind of on the edge of the grass, and he's looking, and it appears clear, so he looks back at you to see if you're wanting to try to cross into the open gravel towards this strange state.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to, maybe... Should we use the invisibility spell now?
You could
Because
disappear down in...
it will make us visible, but they still hear us crossing across the gravel. So yeah, we'd be able to sneak in probably, and it would only work for one of us. So
And it only works for so many turns, and you lose one every time you move.
Does it say that it only works for one of us?
I believe it only works for one. I can go back to the page. Here it is. Make creature invisible for dice number of turns. Any movement reduces duration by 1.
Well, nonetheless, this seems like the very best time to use it.
it seems like and I hate to send out someone so young, but Gooseberry, how sneaky would you say you be?
Well, I'm very sneaky.
Like on
I'm
a scale
jumping
of
around stuff
say
all the time.
1 to 12 or 2 to 12, you know. Just arbitrarily on that scale,
On a scale from 2 to 12, where did I put that? I literally just had that. Oh, there it is. On a scale of 2 to 12, I'm probably an 11.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay. Well, let's.
And don't worry, I'm fast. If I see them, I'll run back to the grass.
We've only got a few
Then there
minutes.
will be more of us, and they won't expect it.
I'm down. Like, I'm ready to see the spell and see if we can do it.
All right. So, Gooseberry, this is something this is probably stupid for me to do, and hopefully this won't come to any harm to you, but I kind of want to test this thing out, and I'll make you even sneakier. So, stand back, everybody, while I go ahead and, oh boy, this is kind of scary, but... Alright, so... And just going over the casting, so... Cast is valid. Alright, so I have
Just
to roll...
don't get a 6.
Okay, so I just roll 1d6, I just don't have to get a 6.
Yeah, and if you roll a bunch of dice, it'll give you the
I could... Okay, so I could actually roll more... Oh, I could roll more than one.
yeah, because it's dice
it increases your
turns.
odds of getting a 6.
So
So
long
it's
as
up to you how much you do.
Yeah. Let's see. Power. Equal to the power the spell is cast. Trying to see the limit. Like how many d6s, or can you just do as many as you want? But you.
I think it's upwards of 3. Where is it?
Up to the number of usage dots, and I think this one has 3.
Yeah, there's only
dots.
3 dots on a tablet, so you can use any tablet 3 times, or you can roll up to that number of times. But that's how many dice rolls you have for the tablet before you have to recharge it.
Okay. So the way it works is, if we're just sending Gooseberry out to walk across the gravel and get there, because if I spend 2 dice, that's technically 2 turns. But since moving basically reduces it down, that's like 1 turn total just to get the entrance and get in.
Well, it'd be how many numbers are on the dice.
Okay.
So, for example, if you roll a 5, he has 5 turns. He's moving, he actually has 4.
I kind of want to risk it and roll 2d6 for the longest effect. That's a little bit riskier, but I kind of want to go for that. Okay, so Jerry's got us like, let's see, I could be safe, or let's not be too risky
Or
here.
not safe.
I don't think Jerry's that brave to do 3d6, but we'll just do good old 2d6. Get a.
In Jerry's defense, Goose is that brave. So,
I mean,
I don't
Goose
know
is not.
who gets hurt in this scenario, though. So there is that.
I think technically it'd be Jerry because he's the one trying to cast the spell. But
yeah, the caster takes d6 damage.
So, if anything, Goose won't be harmed, probably. But okay, but here we go. 2d6. Here's looking at you, kid.
Yeah, 2d6s.
I got a 3 and a 1.
Oh, nice.
So good thing there were 2 dice. And you didn't get a 6, so you're not drained yet. Okay, so Goose quietly scurries across the gravel. All you can hear is like a little.
And Jerry is just so giddy, he has to continue like.
And he gets just a little ways away from you, and he looks at it and goes, "Fuck, no, shut up!" But all you can hear is this little voice, and he walks over to this strange thing, and you see him you kind of hear him, but he's walking around it to check the entire thing out, and then he climbs up on top of it. At which point the pat-pat changes to a very soft, tinny sound. It's metallic. And he hops in this part you can't see. But he hops down inside of the item because there are no rats visible. And he finds a flight of stairs, which he goes to and looks at. but he's a little uncertain going down because it's dark, and he's not sure what's around the corner. So he opts to climb back out and over the metallic item, and then pats back over to you. I think I found their hideout.
Oh, Gooseberry. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we found their hideout. Good.
There's stairs inside that it looks like something the giants use in their houses with food. But it's empty inside, and there's a hole with stairs. But it gets very dark, and, well, I can't see in the dark, and lighting up a torch would kind of be pointless with invisibility. So, you want to check it out?
We have to.
Yeah, because at that point, it's probably best for at least, all of us try to, like, as a group to explore the area together.
Well, there's no rats over there, at least outside. They can't guarantee once we walk down the stairwell.
Yep.
Okay, so you all walk over the gravel as quietly as you can. Frond is in the back, trying not to absolutely freak out and have a panic attack. You come up. It is a very smooth but slightly rusted metal box with strange dials on the front. And you can easily hop up onto it and look down inside, and it's kind of filled with dirt mostly, but there is a hole that goes through what would have been the bottom of this item. And just like he said, instead of it just being like a natural animal tunnel, there are stairs that go down into the ground.
Well, we come this far, and much as I don't want to see anybody hurt, and I still think that these guys, again, they're just big bullies, but, well, they're planning to get you. I think it's going to assume Fron, or yeah, we think we've overheard, which is their plan to maybe take the mouse children. So I think, we got to do something about this tonight while we're all here in force. Because I think, assuming it's not more of them, there's only 3 of them, so we do have the numbers involved. So my vote is like, let's go deep inside and let's see how far we can get and do something about these rats.
Maybe we can come up with a mechanism up at the top that if we run back to it, we can try to slam this door shut and close it. You have a net. What if you use the net and we jammed, and I'll sacrifice my sword and jam the net, the sword into the net onto it, and tie it off. And if we have to run past, 2 people I'll take my sword and jam it in it and just slow them down and stick them in it so we can get out of here if we have to. That's assuming we
So
can
sort
get
of
back
like
to the door.
a way to blockade our exit if we have to make an emergency exit.
Yeah, maybe tie up your net and have it ready on one end, and then as soon as we come out, somebody takes my sword and just jams it down and covers the net over.
That would work. We could leave Frond here because I don't know that he'll be able to do much in there, but
Fran's,
he can.
Fran's been through enough already for tonight as it is, honestly.
point,
So I'd say,
actually.
like, we can leave Fron by the entrance and just have them be in charge of, like, and same advice to give to Fron, like, if there is any danger, don't be free to run back to the cherry tree, alright? Don't worry about us, okay? Just make sure you're safe, alright? But at the very least, like,
If there's a fox, jump in the hole. If there's no fox, run towards the tree.
Yes, that's a good point, actually. So if there's a fox, come in with us. It's better safe in here.
So just wait here and you'll be able to see everything. So he'll wait. He's scared, but he's like, okay, I can wait. I don't have to go through that, and I can always jump in if I need to. It's the least I can do. Maybe I won't get any trouble after this if I do this. So it's you, Gooseberry, Poppy, Chicory. Who's going in first? Chicory will gladly volunteer,
That sounds like a
but
chicory
he
job.
needs someone with a torch. He does have armor.
That should be Poppy because she has yeah. And
Poppy has
very
torches, so she can light a torch. Okay. So Poppy lights a torch. She is following Chicory in. Gooseberry's kind of waiting at the top of the stairs just in case he needs to provide cover fire. Chicory gets to the bottom of the stairs, and he just kind of stops. He looks around briefly, and he just kind of stops, and he's staring at something with his head cocked. And he looks up at Pearl and Jerry and waves you to come down. Never seen anything like this, and here I thought rats were just duller than a used crayon. You get to the bottom of the stairs, and it is the strangest thing you have ever seen. You are in a small stone room. It looks like it's made of lots of different smoothed river stones on the floor, and it is a rectangular room, and you came down the stairs into the width of the wall, and in the middle of the length of the wall is a door. And this door happens to have 6 doorknobs in different places on the door. Up high, down low, in the middle. Not where you would normally find a doorknob. Not a single one is where you would normally find a doorknob. It looks like it was kind of jerry-rigged together.
locked. Does it have a lock mechanism?
It's hard to tell. None of them appear to be a deadbolt, but you're not really sure which doorknob opens it or what they do.
This could be a trap. We're about 7 over.
Do we want to pick up at the door?
I definitely I want to treat this as a trap. I don't know about you, Elijah, but I like this. This is like, I don't know if it's being chased by a fox and all the other things, but I'm definitely in my mouse brain now. I'm like, this is a trap, and like I'm gonna think about how to poke this, and I'm gonna ask like 10 questions about this door. So that yes.
So I'll draw a real quick. So you have your stairwell, and then you have this room. I cannot draw a straight line on here to save my life. And this is kind of the room you're in. And you have this door. And it has 6 different doorknobs on it. So they're just all over the place.
I'm gonna ask about that next time. I'm gonna treat this like a trap. I do want to figure out what's going on.
And that's all that's in the room.
Nice. All right.
I had fun with this one.